framed for corporate espionage and murder, Taejun Park was forced to abandon his identity. To survive, he became
RoboBit.
Off the grid is the only secure way to go.
known as one of the most elite hackers in the Outlands. Crypto uses his mastery of engineering and robotics to provide valuable intel while staying in the shadows.
I'm here because I have to be. What's your excuse?
His aerial surveillance drone provides a strategic look at his surroundings.
I'm watching. I'm always watching.
Crypto, the surveillance expert, the Korean spy, the edgy anime protagonist, and my personal favorite legend of all time. If you want to learn how to play Crypto from an Apex Predator, you're in the right place. I can teach you all you need to know about Crypto and guarantee you that escape from gold without having to sacrifice a newborn child. But who is Crypto? According to Apex lore, Crypto is a surveillance expert, which is definitely apparent in his gameplay. I mean, all he does is hide in a corner all game, spy on people with a drone and jerk off, but who can blame him when there are legends like Loba running around? He was orphaned at a young age and was taken in by a nameless mother figure along with his foster sister.
What are you doing, step bro?
Whoa, whoops, oh! I dropped my monster condom that I used.
He and his sister worked as computer engineers for the Mercenary Syndicate. Yes, the same one behind that Apex games, as well as this thing. One day they stumbled upon an algorithm that could predict the results of any Apex match, which was a big no-no for the weirdos down at the Syndicate, who then brutally murdered his sister and framed Crypto for it as well, which really explains why he's so edgy all the time. I mean, look at this. Hey, bro, you wanna go get something to eat?
We are all just data, waiting to be deleted.
Well, have fun, I guess. I'll message you to play League later then.
You better hope I find you before they do.
Okay, buddy. Now Crypto was forced to change from the simplord to the badass we know and love, third-partying the shit out of every fight in an attempt to clear his name and claim at least a sliver of RP. Crypto fits perfectly into the scout playstyle better than any other legend, focusing completely on finding the enemies before they find you so you can pull off some big brain plays like this. Unlike Bloodhound, there is no random red circle to sell out your team's position, and if you play it right, you can keep the enemy scanned for the entire duration of a fight. Before we talk about Crypto's other abilities, we must first talk about his tactical ability, Surveillance Drone. Crypto sends out a drone that can give him an aerial view of his surroundings. While in his drone, Crypto is completely vulnerable to attacks because he stays stationary. So it's best only to use this ability for short periods of time and not just flying your drone around like a retard for half of the match. Crypto can fly his drone in a 200-meter radius before he loses connection, then you wouldn't be able to use it. He can also ping just about everything with his drone, and a cool trick nobody seems to know is that if you face the kill leader banners that are scattered around the map with your drone, you can see how many squads there are in a 200-meter radius from you, so you and your team would be prepared. Another thing I forgot to mention was that the developers who created Crypto knew that the only people to play him would be lonely and depressed. So they made it so that his drone actually speaks to you in-game. Most players are too busy trying not to die to hear it, but if you listen really closely, you can almost make out a... Crypto's passive is known as the
Coronavirus!
which basically does AoE damage to everybody around him, including his own team. But this makes no sense, considering he isn't even from
China.
Crypto's passive is actually called Neuralink, which unfortunately doesn't allow you to access infinite anime titties and swords. Instead, it just lets your drone scan doors, enemy traps, capsules, and enemies. Just like Bloodhound's tactical, scan stuff shows up reddish in-game for both you and your team, and the best part of Crypto's kit is that you don't need to be in your drone to get this extra vision. You can just position your drone in a good enough place and it will scan everything in front of it until it gets shut down. Although two things to remember about this ability is that your drone does have to be relatively close to your targets in order to scan, and unlike Bloodhound's tactical, as soon as they leave the vision of the drone, they are no longer scanned, meaning when this ability positioning is absolutely everything, which has an even deeper meaning for Crypto. Crypto's ultimate ability is honestly one of the best ultimates in all of Apex, as well as one of the most fun. He releases his massive EMP from his drone, which does 50 damage to all enemy shields, disables traps, as well as slaying enemies. Teammates are not affected by this ability, but you take full effect, so be careful and stay out of its radius. Now that we have covered his abilities and what they do, how does one actually go about playing the edgelord that is Crypto? Honestly, I have not the slightest clue, but a few low elo tips I can give you is that you can use your drone as bait, because for some reason people can't resist the urge to gun it down like a black guy taking a jog. So use that to your advantage and deal some damage while they are focused on it. Another one is your drone does not take damage and can retrieve your teammates' banners in the storm, so you can res them when they die in the storm like idiots. And finally, use the L2 plus R2 for your ultimate. Position your drone near the enemies and time your ultimate to go off just before you and your teammates engage, so you won't be affected and the enemies would be down 50 shields and disorientated. So yeah, may the Elo gods shine heaven upon you and grant you unlimited RP, and I hope to see you in the next one.